Hello again, Arbitrarians. This is Dave from the Arbitrarium, bringing you our third and final round of fake ads for the first season of the podcast. We've got some new bits for you, including Little Fuhrer's Confectionary, private service announcements, Roadkill Horoscope, and a new segment we like to call Unknowable History. So kick back once again and take a whiff of what just wafted out of the back of the Arbitrarium's EPA, FDA, and NCAA condemned capitalist advertisement machine.
Meine Kunden. Too long has German flavor been neglected. No more. Little Fuhrer's Confectionary is the pastry of the master race. It triumphs over inferior brands, and German supremacy shines through every bite of our irrefutable snack cakes. As our brave soldiers conquered Poland and France, so can you subjugate your sweet tooth with amphetamine-blasted Blitz creams, or know the inevitable taste of victory with the favored cake of the Wehrmacht's finest, chocolate eclairions. And if that is not enough, try a delectable collaboration with rice from our honorary Aryan allies in the Empire of the Rising Sun. Let Schnaps, Crackle, and Fritz send your sweet tooth on a victory march for the Lebensraum with Reich's Krispies. Finally, satiate your superior hunger with our fruit-fused orange mangalas that'll have your taste buds soaring among the Messerschmitts like the Imperial Eagle. And now you can double your pleasure with the new Marengula Twin Pack. Little Fuhrer's Confectionary. Taste the master race.
Hey there, folks, you tired of paying wild prices for a peep of pleasure? Well, come on down to Jackie Hancock's Secondhand Porno, where our secondhand smut is second to none. Flip through thousands of titles in our bottomless well of gently used lootery. From discount cunnilingus to budget bondage, these bawdy bargains beat the busty bucks of our first-hand competitors. The tags in our mags and flicks will have you stacking your thrifty picks of our naughty recycled erotica. And don't forget, Tuesdays are ladies' night, so strut on in and get the full minor for half the price. Tired of selling out hardcore cash for softcore porn? One man's trash is another man's pleasure here at Jackie Hancock's Secondhand Porno, just off Highway 40. Look for the Winnebago behind the lion's den. This is an Arbitrarium private service announcement. Announcement for Walter Cochran. Your casket rental has expired. Please return it to the facility dry and swept of soil and corpse fluids or risk losing your deposit. Thank you.
Facing the future is always a worrying prospect with so many darned unknowns, especially for you high cotton city folk. You never know if you're going to strike the mother lode or get killed by one of them fancy underground trains y'all so fond of. We in the backwoods got something for you. An old-fashioned, time-tested way to see what the good Lord got planned for you. Scrabbit casting. Here's how it works. You send me and Joey Ray a $20 bill, then we hit the road looking for flattened critters by the side of the road. We read its innards and outards to see your future. We'll even send you a picture so you know we ain't fibbing about what we found. Ain't that a steal? And for only $10 a month, you can ante up to our weekly newsletter, where we run over a possum with Joey Ray's Super Duty to find out the gist of what your sign's in for. Just send your name and money to Combahee House in Toadsuck, Arkansas, and we'll do the rest. Looking forward to it.
Meine Kunden. Start your day the Aryan way with Little Fuhrer's breakfast cereals. Obermunch keeps the master race marching strong with our brand new whole grain Obermunch. Made with rich honey and 88 essential vitamins and minerals, you can kick the breakfast of champions to the camps and make room for the master grain. Gestapos, looking to suppress dissent at the breakfast table? Avoid the kitchen kampf, please the youth, and root out the deviants that object with Gestapos. A healthy breakfast of pacified oats with patriotic marshmallow eagles and an energetic 300 grams of sugar. Buy or trade ration stamps for your box today. Luftwaffles. Britain will soon fall to our aerial campaign, but to further ensure our inevitable victory, fight your compelled support for the brave and glorious Erwin of the Reich with a breakfast booming with flavor. Luftwaffles are the flawless accompaniment to any balanced air war. Crafted with the finest wheat from our stalwart Soviet allies by loving and honorable Aryan mothers. Nothing fortifies you for the day and the national struggle ahead like Little Fuhrer's Luftwaffles. Our breakfast offerings also go great with a warm cup of Kristallnacht. Little Fuhrer's Confectionary, ein Geschmack. fine folk.
The Arbitrarium presents Unknowable History. Santa Claus, or as the Laotians refer to him, El Diablo Alegre. Nearly 300 years after the death of the boy who lived, aka Jesus Christ, the man who would become the patron saint of only the good children sat in a Turkish bathhouse, pondering what to make of himself. Becoming sufficiently inebriated on hookah infused with various ancient psychoactive spices, the Red Spectre, as he would come to be known, wandered down to Baratarap's farm to take in a view of nature and the myriad stenches thereof. What happened next is often debated by historians, but what is clear is that something bedeviled the saint, and he was compelled to paint himself in the blood of the lamb and run down the streets of Patara in search of young women who were being sold into prostitution and slavery. Upon assaulting them with his brilliant naked self, he offered the purveyors a handsome dowry of various ancient psychoactive spices, and also a few rare commemorative pogs of a then popular Jewish waterbender named Moses. Not long after this debaucherous act of salvation, word spread among the people of Turkey of the great Crimson Buddha, as he would come to be called, and legends began to develop. The following morning, Baratarap awoke to the bloody scene, where not a single of his flock remained. Soon after, the connection was made between the massacre and the Scarlet Saint of Prostitutes, as he is venerably remembered, and word spread of a ravenous monster that feasts on livestock and frees women of their sexual debt to wealthy Turkish aristocrats. And so began the legend of El Chupacabra, still haunting the superstitious minds of Turkish farmers to this day, and commemorated among prostitutes with ritual sacrifices of lamb and a display of pogs adorned by his nude figure, which no historian debates, the legend has earned him. This has been Unknowable History.
This is an Arbitrarium private service announcement. Announcement for Carol Popkin. We've been trying to reach you concerning your vehicle's extended warranty. You should have received the notice in the mail about your car's extended warranty eligibility. Since we've not gotten a response, we're going to give you a final courtesy call before we close out your file. Please press 2 to be removed and placed on our Do Not Call list. To speak to someone about possibly extending or reinstating your vehicle's warranty, press 1 to speak with a warranty specialist. Thank you.
Were you injured in an accident? Are the medical bills piling up? Did your insurance company offer you a small, unfair compensation? Have you been searching for a lawyer, only to find no one will take your case? Are you looking to get what you deserve? Do you want them to get what they deserve? What's coming to them? I'm Free Company Agent Captain Ernest Hunter, and I'm here to get the results you need. I don't get paid unless they pay, and I guarantee untraceable satisfaction. Call 1-800-668-6372. That's 1-800-NOT-MERC, and get even.
Meine Kunden, the master race marches on, and in honor of our glorious and inevitable triumph in the coming Soviet winter, Little Fuhrer's Confectionary has released for public consumption these fine Rhineland frozen treats. Gerber clusters, a bold chocolate ice cream with fudge and decadent brownie bites that won't burden our rationing budget, because there's no milk, not in the cream, not in the country. Reiki Road, a chocolate marshmallow treat with more nuts than the Ghost Plan. And the question fresh on every Superman's mind, what would you do for a Zyklon bar? Little Fuhrer's Confectionary, the final solution to your sweet tooth.
The Arbitrarium presents Unknowable History. In the middle of Maryland is a small town called Hancock. Its original name is lost to the sands of time. The valleys around the town were carved by a giant crab that terrified the townsfolk with its powerful pincers and tormented them with its midnight shrieking, itself a kaiju translation of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Footloose, which haunted the airs of the ancient town and is banned from production in any local theater to this day. The town prayed for salvation, and it arrived in the form of John Hancock. After a devastating day-long battle which ravaged the countryside and poured through the valleys the stench of the crab's rancorous sweat and urine, Hancock was victorious, and the rivers ran blue with the blood of the colossal crustacean. This caused some confusion among the townsfolk, as the rivers appeared no different in color but tasted viscerally of sea waste and chum. In any case, Hancock had won, and the town was renamed in his honor. And every year they sacrifice 2 calves, one to appease the spirit of the great crab, in the hopes it never returns, and the other to appease the spirit of John Hancock, in the hopes he never returns. This has been Unknowable History.
Now I can tell you all the truth the cops and the doctors and bankers won't. And you know it's true because Wise trying to stop me saying it. The kids gotta know. That's why those last bull pastures in the park sent those reptilian goons on me. All those Atlantic quacks try to get it, saying it's the door out my head. But the fortified blood of Christ makes the saints louder than ever. Wake up, sheeple, grays, reptilians, Atlantis, fucking hypercuber. All real, all in cahoots with the feds, but not those patsies and the CIA. The real deep state hidden in the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the Office of Child Support Enforcement, Amtrak. You know what K stands for? K stands for Kremlin and Commissar. And they know the fluoride in the water weakens your mind against ghost dances. That top of the alien Native American burial grounds and moves them bones from side to side via trains. Wonder why you can't sleep in them cars? You're too busy summoning the Anunnaki.
Raving Derelict butter. It's all the rage.
Meine Kunden. It's springtime, and you know what that means. Revel in the Reich's righteous victories with Little Fuhrer's Confectionary. The mandates are in, and the order is for flavor. Save our superior stock of Deutschland Schwyz with Arbeitersjungen favorites like Panzerblasts, roasted peanut clusters coated in diesel chocolate, or Sturmgewehren, dummy stormtroopers with hearts of literal steel. Our fronts are lining up with envious allied troops, so grab those ration stamps and pick up Little Fuhrer's Confections today. Ein Geschmack, ein Volk.
The Arbitrarium presents Unknowable History. September 1st, 1939. The Third Reich invades Poland at the command of the Fuhrer and his haggard second-hand catamite, chief scientist Hans Kammler. The invasion was a success. The Fuhrer had achieved his ulterior goal of securing Poland's top-secret reserve of an amoebic radioactive substance codenamed Serum 525. Over the course of the ensuing war, the SS Thule Society would use this substance, which emitted an erotic violet glow, to power a bell-shaped steel contraption often theorized in juvenile conspiracy theories to be a UFO, a time machine, or a secret chamber for the coital escapades of the Fuhrer and his bemused boy Wunder. The truth, however, is far more sophomoric. The bell, true to its name, was a device built as Adolf's time telephone, a temporal communication device and the clandestine origin of the ATT Telecommunications Company. Recently decrypted personnel files indicate that Hitler's intended use for the device was to seek ownership of a rare and valuable limited edition life-sized wax sculpture of Wild Bill Hickok from the 1872 Montgomery Ward's Wish Book catalog, a treasure coveted by Midwestern pancake houses the world over. It was to be ordered and retained at a long-abandoned castle in North Hershide until its recovery by the Nazis over a half-century later. Retaining this masterpiece at the time of its original release would offer the Fuhrer a reasonable price, before the notorious wartime inflation of fine Western waxwork. But the Fuhrer's dream of owning this exquisite artifact of enlightened artistry and cultural achievement would be dashed violently when the henge facility at which the ATT was being developed fell to an SAS commando raid as part of Operation Paperclip. The ATT, very nearly complete, was taken back to Bletchley Park in England for study.
Upon hearing of the aphrodisiacal qualities of the ATT's glutinous purple blood fuel, the device was dismantled at the behest of Winston Churchill, who had come to Bletchley for the sole purpose of consuming every viscid blob of the substance to its last drop, which the pallid, gin-logged, wadded flesh of a man would spread over crumpets at tea time, the time of his greatest daily alcohol consumption. Once stripped of all empirically comprehensible and non-toxic properties by the Prime Minister's failing yet unforgiving bowels, the byproduct of the turgid English spectacle's digestion would be kept in a secret holding facility and used as a biological warfare deterrent, until finally being decommissioned in 1991 and sold on the American market as Nickelodeon's Gek. Expert historians now agree that while the Fuhrer's pursuit of the wax sculpture was bold and noble in its intent, his wit fell far short of the artwork's brilliance, and his plan was destined to fail on account of telephones weren't invented until 1876, 4 years after the sculpture's catalog debut. This was the true story of the fabled wonder weapon, the Nazi bell, as verified by the secret journals of Winston Churchill himself, that squabbish, misshapen calamity of a gin well of a man. May God have mercy on the tormented souls of the youth who were sold his aged waste as a viscous, beglittered plaything.
This has been Unknowable History.